Thank you for tuning into our channel today. Today we're going to be taking a moment to give you a review on an electric trike made by Go Electric Bike Company out of Chino, California. They are a manufacturer of both bicycles and tricycles in the electric mode, and their parent company is ComfyGo, which has been a manufacturer of mobility products for people with disabilities for quite some time. So they've had a lot of experience over the years in regards to electric mobility products. So this into e-bikes and e-trikes transition and addition was a pretty easy jump for them. Today we're going to be looking specifically at the Forza compact model. Now you will see it sometimes advertised as Forza Mini, and I hesitate to use that title Mini because then when people look at that, they think it's smaller than the full Forza, and the frame and everything about the trike is identical to the full Forza, with the exception of the full Forza model has 7 speeds in addition to the electric pedal assist motor setup. Now, the Forza Compact is a single speed with 5 pedal assist modes. So it has a lot of versatility. And if you're riding predominantly, for instance, in an urban area or on city streets, that kind of a thing, not so much in the area of trying to take long, extended hiking trails with a lot of hills, etc. The Forza compact model with the single speed and the pedal assist is going to do for you, I think, very, very well. If you're going to be using long-term riding and you're going to be taking a lot of situations where you have a lot of hills and different kinds of terrain, then the 7-speed Forza full is probably going to be the one that you're going to want to look at and consider the most. But I want to give you a little bit of a breakdown, as you can see here in the video here, and we're going to get into specifics and do a lot more, but I thought it would be good to give you a breakdown of the trike before we even get into unboxing and those kinds of things. And this trike has so much potential. I have one that here is fully assembled that I've been riding, and I have one yet that has not been unboxed, and we will be doing that together. So you can see how it comes. I think it's very important. You know, these things come from Chino, California. I'm in the Midwest, so we're looking at a considerable distance of transporting these bikes or trikes, and they come to me by rail through FedEx. And as you can see in the picture here, this is exactly the way it is packed and sent to me. It's on a wooden pallet. It's in a very heavy double walled pasteboard box that is very well packed, as you will see when we get to the opening up of it. The bikes are prepared for a long trip and sometimes maybe a hard trip, and the 2 that I have received have just come through flawlessly. There's been absolutely no damage of any kind to the bike, not even a scratch on them. So they're well done. Once they're in the box and ready to go, they're put on the wooden pallet. They're strapped with heavy straps, and then they're wrapped in plastic, as you can see in this particular picture. So they're prepared for the trip, and a good situation. You, I think, can expect pretty much receiving your product without damage or without problems in any way. So let's talk a little bit about the specifics of the Forza Compact. Again, the single speed with 5 pedal assist, which is what you are seeing right now in the picture with the unpacked one here. The motor brand is ELWOL, and it is a 48-volt motor with 500 watts of power. The peak power full is up to 750 watts. The motor type is a front hub motor. I know there's a lot of controversy between rear motors and front motors and those kinds of things, and I get it. I get the reasoning for certain situations for both, but I found in the area of the Trike, the front hub motor works very, very well. The voltage is rated at 110 volts. The maximum speed is rated at 20 miles per hour or 26 kilometers. Now, there's some tweaking that can be done, and you could probably up that if you want to a little bit, but for myself, I've found that kind of speed on a Trike is more than enough. So you can take your pleasure on that. Normal speed for this particular Trike would be rated somewhere in the 16 mile per hour range or 26 kilometers. The range without pedal assist, if you're not using pedal assist at all, you're using just a full throttle type situation, you're going to get up to 31 miles on a full battery charge. Now, there's one wonderful advantage to both the compact and the full Forza model, and that's the fact they are both set up and both capable of having dual batteries. So if you want longer rides, underneath the trunk area of this particular Trike that you see, there is a platform there that is all set up to be able to mount a second battery, and you can extend your range up about double that from what it is on the single. The dual battery range is spec'd out to be 85 miles. That's without pedal assist in it. Battery charge time. It is a battery dual pulse system, and it is a lithium ion battery, which probably most of you expect at this particular point. And the capacity of the single battery, this particular model that I have right now, I only have the single battery on it. I do not have it spec'd out with dual batteries, although that can be added at any time. It's 10.4 amp hours, 48 volts, and it is integrated within the frame of the bike. If you see that horizontal where it says Forza on it, there's a black doorway that is key locked. That inside of that is the battery, the single battery for the Forza compact Trike. Product dimensions are 74 inches by 26 inches by 45 inches high. Folded dimensions, this is a folding model Trike, which I think is fantastic because, as you well know, if you're going to take it someplace or even just store it in your garage, being able to fold that front end around towards the back saves you an awful lot of space. And the dimensions of it folded are 43 inches long, 40 inches wide, and 40 inches high. The net weight of the product is 81 pounds. This is not what you would consider to be a lightweight Trike. It is very well constructed, and it does have some beef to it. It does have some weight, so you need to be prepared for that. But I find when you're out riding, some of that weight keeps the stability factor of the Trike much, much better, and it's to your advantage. Maximum user weight is 440 pounds. So it has got a really good carrying capacity to it. And also, let me add, if you did put a dual battery in this particular Trike, it increases the dry weight to 90.2 pounds. So you're adding about 9 pounds over the single battery capacity weight. It is equipped with a differential rear axle, which is wonderful. It keeps those tires and wheels spinning as they need to be separately, so you don't run into problems with that. The display on it is a multi-function LED screen with a USB charger. It is a 900 series screen, very bright, very clear. It is not color. It is monochrome, but it gives you the battery level. It gives you the wattage that is being used. It gives you a total odometer reading for the bike, as well as a tripometer reading. And then, of course, it gives you your speed as well. Also, the headlight is shown to be on or off in that particular screen when you have it working as well. The frame material is aluminum alloy, so that keeps it a little bit lighter than if it was a full steel. Front suspension it does have. It is not adjustable. It is just a single full suspension system, but it works very well with this particular Trike. Drive system on it is chain driven, one single chain, and it works very well. Front brake type is hydraulic with a parking brake. You have parking brakes on both sides. One parking brake operates the dual discs in the rear, and the other one locks the front. So it has excellent parking brake, and that hydraulic brake system on all three wheels is just outstanding. This Trike will stop very, very easily. It's very easy to control and very safe. So you can take account of that. The derailleur, single speed. As I said, the compact model is single speed. The full Forza has 7 speeds on it. So that's really the only difference in the two. Rear brake type is dual hydraulic disc brakes, again with parking brake. And the front tires and the rear tires are Kenda, and they are 20-inch or 20.3 inches. So they are a fat tire type of tire, and real good stability on those tires. The headlight is LED. That is included with the bike. And the tail light is LED as well. That is included. Now, it does not have directional signals. It does have brake light and tail light, but it does not have directional signals, so you need to keep that in mind. Throttle type is thumb throttle, and it works very, very well. And you can set this bike where you can use it as strictly pedal, you can use it as strictly pedal assist, or you can use it as strictly throttle, or you can set it to be the dual throttle and pedal assist version, which is the way I keep mine set. I can go back and forth between both without any type of movement of the settings whatsoever. Front and rear fenders are included on this particular, and they are metal. They're of aluminum type and very well put together. Again, foldable, and it has a rear rack included, as you can see, that has a liner bag, and that is an insulated liner bag that you can see in that particular crate. It has a front basket as well, which you can put on or you can leave off depending on what you would like to do. It's held on by four screw bolts and very easy to operate. I think if you're going to use it for very much at all, you need to put some kind of a liner probably in that particular basket to keep stuff from falling through the wide spacing of the bars on it, but it'd be very easy to do and no problem whatsoever. It has a very, as you can see, comfortable seat with a backrest, adjustable both tilt-wise and up and down with a quick release lock on the post, and you can work with that and do very, very well as far as comfort in your riding. The pedals are an aluminum type material, and everything is just put together and manufactured very, very well. So we're just excited today to be able to go over this with you, and I'm going to take a moment here and walk around this this bike, trike. I keep saying bike and it's a trike, but I want to walk around it and give you an idea of some of what it looks like specifically after being put together. As you can see, you have your dual brake handles and parking brake, which right now is locked. You have the display screen here, which is the SW900. Your hydraulic lines for your brakes, and they are both tied in and gone through. Here's the shock absorber front end suspension, as you might say, on the front wheels. Again, they are not locking. They are a minimal suspension, but hey, they do work. They do work well, and I think they're a great addition to this particular trike. Key lock on the battery compartment, and here is the door that I was talking about that holds the battery. It slides down inside the frame of the trike. That's the main battery, the first battery that you can talk about. If you look back behind the seat underneath, you can see right here the platform that is set up for dual battery if you would choose to buy the additional battery and use it. Now, my particular model as a promo came with a D-lock, very heavy D-lock, and it had a bracket to mount it, and because there's no cross tube on this particular model, I had to look for a way to be able to put it in place, and this is where I chose to mount it, and it seems to work fine here. So it's right under the seat there on that A-frame pillar that works, and it sits there and doesn't bounce around, and does a great job for that. You can see the seat again with the adjustments. Both the backrest adjusts. If you look here, you can adjust it top, bottom, up and down by loosening this knob. And then, of course, the seat saddle itself has an adjustment where you can tilt it or you can move it back and forth, front to rear. So it's really set up so you should be able to come up with a very, very comfortable setting position for the trike as you ride it and use it. Again, the back trunk area, we'll call it, comes with this liner. It's zippered and it is insulated all sides. So if you're going to go out, for instance, on maybe a little picnic lunch, there you go. You can put your stuff in there, cool or warm, and it'll be an assistance to you in regards to having stuff there ready to go. The fenders, I like the way they do the fenders on this particular trike. They do not have these separate little things that some of them do to mount them, but they actually mount on a dual bar that mounts to the basket itself. So when we're assembling this particular unit, as you will see when we do that here in a little bit, the fenders screw on from underneath of the basket before you put the basket on the trike. And then they sit there and they're ready to go. So you don't have to go through all this adjustment mess of trying to get the fenders to fit and not rub and all this kind of stuff. They just lock in right there and they're ready to go without any problem whatsoever. Here you can see the tail light, brake light in the back is set up and ready to go. And it comes that way. Let me just say right here, as you see this trike today, when it came, the seat was in a separate box. The rear basket was in a separate box with the liner. The front basket was in a separate box, included in the crate. And the front wheel and motor was in the box, the main shipping box, separately, not mounted to the trike. The handlebars were lifted out. Of course, they're wired, so they were all in place. So all you had to do was take the stem and put it in and mount the height on it. And that was very easy to do. So you put the handlebars on, you put the front wheel and tire on, you put the baskets on with the fenders, and you're ready with a seat. I mean, anybody can put this together. It's just a very easy trike to assemble because most of the assembly has been done already for you. Again, you look on this side, very much the same. There's the aluminum pedal, which is really nice. It's not plastic and cheap. It's just a great little pedal. There's the screen for the SW900. It has a bell. Everybody has ideas about bells or horns or whatever. I don't tend to use either one, but it does come with a bell. And also, you can see it does have the mounting of the 3-button for setting the display, turning the display on, turning the headlight on. If you press the up arrow and hold it down, it will turn the headlight on. If you're ready to turn it off, you just press the same thing and hold it again, and it goes off accordingly. Now, this is, again, a thumb throttle bike. You can see the thumb throttle right here, and very easy to get to and use. Now, the little mirror that's on this side did not come with the bike. I had one of those, and I put it on there for testing it, test riding it and testing it. So that's not included, but they're very inexpensive. And there's a whole bunch of different types of mirrors that you can purchase. I think for myself, I would probably go for one a little bit higher and a little bit longer and stick out a little bit more. So, but if you just need a real basic one, that one will certainly do it. Here's your front hub motor, and there's another picture of the front suspension. So everything there is just really well put together. Again, it comes packaged. You see the packaging right here, and it's just put together well. They intend for it to get to you undamaged. And from my perspective, with 2 of them, I can say that has been the case. There has not been any damage whatsoever. They come from Chino by train to near Kansas City for me, and then from there by FedEx truck. It comes to my house, and they unload it here. So very, very pleased with the system, very, very pleased with the setup. The bike has more than enough options and capability to do what I need to do. I'm pretty much a urban type, around the town type of rider right now. So I'm not necessarily looking for the 7-speed, that kind of a thing. This particular bike right now is on sale. I think it's on sale for around $1,300. I may be off just a little bit, but very, very, very well put together and a very great bike. Paint finish is good on it, and you can see the latch down here. As far as the fold capability, it's a very easy to use latch. It pops out, and then you just crank that front part around, and it sits very nicely there on the left-hand side with the tire up against the rear tire. So it does a good job of folding and saving you some space and some capability. So that gives you a little bit of a breakdown of this particular unit, and I think you'll find that it just really does a great job. Like I say, my wife and I have rode around the neighborhood here and off and on for a couple of weeks, and it's just been a pleasure to ride and to operate, and I think it will continue to be so. And so we're looking forward to getting the the other one that you see here in the box unpackaged and go through a little bit of a short assembly process with you so that you can be comfortable with what you're going to have to do if you purchase one of these particular trikes. And again, it's just not a difficult thing to do. I think you'll be very pleased with the assembly process. Most people can pretty easily, I think, get this bike assembled in half a day and be out riding it and using it by the end of the day. So that's a little bit of the beginning information on the Go Bike Electric Forza Compact model. And we will here in just a little bit begin the process of the unboxing of the new one there and go through what you have to do specifically in regards to putting one together. After our initial beginning of the review about a week ago, and I talked about the different specifications of the Forza Compact Trike by Go Bike, GoBikeElectric.com. I thought it would be a good idea for me to share with you some very important factors concerning something that's important to all of us, regardless of what kind, what brand, what company you purchase from. And that is the area of what is done to back up what they sell, what you can expect as far as support and service from the company. I can tell you that this particular company you will find has excellent support services. You are provided with a phone number, which you can reach their support department, as well as email, which you can also directly reach their support department. And I can tell you from experience, they will take care of you. They are very good about reaching out to you. If you don't get someone at that first contact, they will respond to you very quickly, and they are more than happy. Not only are they happy to, but they want to make sure that you are backed up well with your purchase. They want to make sure that your trike or bike, whichever the case might be, is something that is working as it should and that you are happy and able to use it as you expected to be able to do. So, I just want to say to you right now, you are purchasing more than just a trike or a bike when you go to GoBike.com. You are purchasing what stands behind it. The people who manufacture it, the people who sell it, the people who service it, they will stick with you to make sure that you have a very positive experience with your purchase. This is just such an important area because I read, as probably all of you, if you've been researching purchasing a trike or a bike, and there's so many companies out there bidding for your dollar, many of them promise a lot of things, but then after you purchase the item from them, they are not good at all about returning your calls, returning your emails, answering your questions, helping you if there's a problem, resolve the issue. They're interested in selling, but that's where their support pretty much stops. You won't find that with Electric Go Bike. They will take care of you. I can assure you of that. So I think that's an area of great importance that you will want to take note of as you consider purchasing a trike or a bike from whoever you purchase it from. Make sure that the support is there behind it, because if you don't have support, you really don't have much, because no matter what, there'll be something come along the way that you'll need some repair or some adjustment or some advice or some help in some way, and Electric Go Bike will furnish you that kind of support. So you can purchase knowing that they will stick with you, and they're absolutely committed to your satisfaction with this product. So buy with confidence and know that it will be something that you can use and be assured of good quality service for down the line. We're about to begin here shortly our unboxing of this particular Forza unit, and along with the unboxing, then we're going to be dealing with the assembly of that trike piece by piece. So hang in there with us, and hopefully it will be something that you can enjoy, and also something that will help you if you are considering the purchase of a Forza from electricgobike.com. Welcome back to our continuation of this build process of the Forza compact electric trike. And we're just about ready to begin to open this thing up today. But before I do, oftentimes many of the companies out there during different particular sales events will offer some additional perks to you for purchasing from them. And with this particular bike, and by the way, these trikes that I'm showing you, I have purchased with my own funding. These are not gifts. These are not promos. These are purchased by me for the purpose of my use. So what I'm showing you here right now is something that I received not because of the video process, but because I purchased the trike itself. And in this particular promo, ComfyGo or Go Bike added 2 extra promotional items for the purchase of this trike, one of them being a very heavy-duty D-lock and cable. See here the cable itself still in the wrapper. It also has a bracket that attaches to the frame of the bike or the trike itself, either one, whichever one you have. And then you have a very, very heavy D-lock that you can use to lock your trike or your bike up. It is quite substantial, and so it will do a good job, I believe, for you. It comes with 3 keys, and that's real nice as well, and instructions on how to assemble or how to install it on the frame of your trike or your bike too. So that was included in this purchase, and very happy to have that. And then one other promo item that they included in this particular purchase is that of a cell phone holder. Most of us are pretty married to our cell phones today, and we want to have them with us no matter where we are. And this is a aluminum cell phone holder, and it has the bracket here in my hand and so forth for being able to attach it to the handlebars of your trike or your bike. And it is a nice quality, nice build, and very adjustable, and I think would be very pleasing for about anyone to use. Now, the only thing I would say about it in regards to a negative is the size of it is not real good with fitting the large, extra large cell phones. If you use them, I found the only way to do it, which is okay, then you have to put them in horizontally and not up and down. But it can be done, and it does work with your particular cell phone. So those 2 items, those perks, came with the purchase of this particular Forza trike. And if you purchase one, it could be those same perks that come with yours, or it could be something different. Sometimes they include a few more things, sometimes a few less. So it's something for you to consider. Okay, let's get into unboxing, or at least starting to unbox this Forza compact trike. As you can see, it's pretty. I took the plastic, if you remember, it was vertically mounted on a pallet, wooden pallet, and it's very heavily strapped in a double cardboard carton, and then it was strapped vertically onto this wooden pallet and then wrapped in a real heavy plastic. For the purposes of this particular video, I removed that plastic, removed the pallet, and I laid it down in a position so that we could show what it is like when we open the crate up and how it is packaged for you when you receive it. So let's begin by cutting these particular straps. Getting them out of the way. And then our next step is to unstaple the lid on the box itself. And we've already done that, so we can just begin to unfold this and open it up. Here on the inner lid, you'll find enclosed is a listing of the particular unit. It is taped very well to the lid, and it simply is showing all of the different parts, accessories, etc. that come with the particular bike. Tells you how many of them there are in the unit, with the unit in the box, and gives you an idea then so you can double check to find out for sure, make sure that you have everything that you're supposed to have, which I think you will find is going to be the case. The biggest problem is just getting that thing untaped off that lid. So then we begin to open up the second box. And we get down to what we've been wanting to see. And that is the Forza compact trike. And like many different manufacturers that ship these out, they are encased in styrofoam and they are zip tied together very well. So you can see here in this particular section, get this back opened a little bit more. So these boxes are very heavy pasteboard. A lot of styrofoam. If you're a styrofoam lover, you'll love getting the different pieces out of the Forza unit. They do a great job of packing these, so you have very little chance of finding yourself with a damaged trike on arrival. Not only do you have the foam blocking, but you also have a lot of styrofoam that is wrapped and tied around the trike itself, the body of the trike. You'll find here wrapped in plastic the rear basket for the unit. nicely protected. I think I mentioned in the first video that we did, these liners for the basket are insulated. So you can use these for taking stuff with you that might need a little cooling or heat if you're going on a picnic or some kind of an event. You've got a zipper, goes all the way around. And once that's opened up, you can see you've got a nice sized basket. Now inside, for shipping purposes, the front basket, which some people don't put on, some do, that is included inside the big basket here for shipping. So you have all of it here together as far as your baskets and your rear liner. Now the front basket does not come with a liner for it, so I'm sure those could be purchased in some form from another supplier. I don't know for sure whether Comfy Go offers the front basket liner or not for sale, but this is a very large unit, very nice unit, and you'll see on the back side as well the name Go Bike, and that is reflective. So going down the road, people can see you very easily in that form and in that way. Then, more styrofoam. And you can begin to see in the box itself, we have here the front wheel with the motor and the main body of the Trike here with the handlebars and controls. And again, these are all zip tied together. The rear wheels are already on the bike. They're installed for you. So all of that is already put together and ready to go. And then somewhere down here, sit and get it undone. We'll find the seat. Yeah, there it is. I've seen another box down here that has the seat post and seat for the Trike itself, and all of the pieces that go with that. So let me grab a pair of cutters, and we'll cut a few parts of this thing and get it where it can come out of the box and you can see it. Okay, first thing we'll do is cut the ties that hold the front wheel. You do want to be careful when you cut these zip ties that you're cutting only the zip ties and you're not getting any of the lines, the electric or the hydraulic lines for the brakes. Just the zip ties. There we go. Now, also included and taped in packaging here on this front wheel unit is the fenders. You have both front and rear fenders. Come with it. There's the two rear fenders. They are black in color, while the rest of this particular bike is in white. So you can see they are metal, and they have a very, very hard finish paint on them, very resistant to any kind of scuffing or marring. So it's really a nice feature. Then we come down to the front wheels and motor drive itself. Lots of bubble wrap. I mentioned in the first video, these units are hydraulic brakes, which you'll see when we begin to get the frame out and work with that. This is your motor lead electric line, which plugs into the frame itself and gets you going on that. So that's all taken care of, very easy to put on and ready to go. And we'll go through all of that when we assemble the wheels on themselves. Nice beefy tires, 20.3 inch tires. There are a fat tire version, and very, very nice. Kendra's is the brand name for this particular tire, and you'll see those on a lot of bikes, and they're very popular, very well thought of in the industry. Stuff out here. Your seat post here. They send a very nice seat post. This it's got a lot of adjustment to it, as well as being one that has a back on it, backrest. Kind of nice. Good padding. Very adjustable. We'll wait to take the wrapping off of it after a bit, but nice, well done unit, along with the post itself. Okay. Then we have our box of goodies, as I call it. Box of hardware. And we'll open that up and see what to expect with that. Your owner's manual is in that box. You have a hand tire pump, which comes with it. It fits the trike. Your headlight, LED headlight. Your pedals. These are nice pedals. They're an aluminum pedal. They feel very quality and very well done. This is the cap for your tube, front tube, and this is a cap for your one side of your hub where your motor plugs into it. They do send you some extra zip ties. I found that I did use a couple of them on the assembly of the other bike down there, just simply because I like for things to be very well tidy and put together. So I did use a couple, but they're not necessarily a have to. It's something that if you want to use something like that, you can. Also in that, you will find a tool kit in this bag. It has any of the nuts and bolts that you need to put the fenders on, and things like that, as well as your wrenches, Allen wrenches, regular wrenches, things like that to finish putting the unit together. I normally use my own tools because I've got a little bit different set of tools. But this is a really nice kit that you can carry with you, like in your basket or whatever on a trail ride, and works out very well. Then another box which houses your battery charger, and that is a 2 amp alternating current battery charger that is made specifically to fit the Forza unit. So you want to make sure that you use this battery charger to charge your battery. A fully dead battery can take over 6 hours to charge, and if it's not fully dead, then of course it will be less. But it does take some time to charge up. And you may be saying, okay, well, what about the battery? Well, the battery is already in the frame of this unit, wrapped in styrofoam here. They already have installed that. Of course, it can be taken out very quickly and very easily, but it's just one less thing to rattle around in shipping, and it protects it very, very well. And from there, then we come down to the main body of the trike itself. And I will, in the next section, be undoing that and taking care of that, showing you that as well. You can see here a little bit of that unit as it sits in the box. Before I pull it out. And it does have some weight to it, so I usually bring my wife out or someone to help me lift it straight up out of the box. As you can see, the back wheels are already installed. Everything is there. The brakes are all installed. The only thing that you have to do on the brakes is the front caliper has to be mounted with the front wheel, and that's a 2-bolt, very easy thing to take care of. So no big problem whatsoever. So in our next section, we'll be having this out of the box, and then we will begin the actual assembly process of putting together this Go bike by Comfy Go, and getting it ready to roll and show you just how well and how wonderfully it works. Well, we have now taken the frame of the Forza Trike out of the box and have it out here in front of us. And our next step that we're ready to do is to begin to cut the ties, the zip ties, so that we can remove all of the packing that you see wrapped around all the different parts of the trike. As I said early on in this video presentation, they do a really good job of packing these and putting things together. So it takes just a little bit of time. You do have to be careful in the fact that you do not want to clip any electrical lines or any hydraulic brake lines. So take your time, be careful about what you're getting a hold of, and just snip. A lot of snipping going on. And once you have taken those zip ties apart, then you will be able to remove the styrofoam tube packing that you see wrapped around all the different portions of the trike. And you begin to reveal the frame itself, which is kind of interesting. So we will just continue here to clip and remove. Like so. And we have more styrofoam tubing that we can take off. You can probably see here, I mentioned earlier on, this model is set up to be able to use 2 batteries if you choose. And I talked about the fact under the seat and the basket rear portion is the platform that is fixed for the second battery. And that's right here. Now, I did not opt for the second battery, so that will remain unused at this time, but it's something you can always do if you decide later you want to add that. Take your time, it takes a little time to do this, but in the end it's worth it. And you can be glad for the fact they were careful enough to pack all this way, because you will have a scratched up, banged up, marred up trike frame when you get all done. It looks good. Paint quality is good on it, and everything is in a good position. I have back here the brake and tail light. It's all wrapped up, zip tied as well. And across the cover of the light itself, they have a plastic protective coating. Keep it from being scratched up and marked. More ties here. Okay. It's pretty much got most of the back portion taken care of. You have some protective foam around the crank section where the pedals are attached. So we'll take those off. Okay. Now the handlebar section, which has all of your electronic controls, etc., that's all wrapped around here and tied as well so that it will not be banging around in shipping. So we'll clip that tie. We'll take this and lay it out in front of the trike so that nothing happens to it. Then we can continue with removing the ties for this section. Here is the battery compartment. You see it's already in place. You have a latch here as well as on this side over here is the key. And the keys are wired to the handlebars. We'll get to them in a moment. This is a charging port. So you can charge the battery in the bike, or you can remove the battery and charge it separately. Either way works. So now we have the front fork unpacked. We're kind of down to the handlebar and the electronic controls. But before we can put the stem in place here, we have to get the little cone cover that came separately in our little parts box. I mentioned that when we were looking in that box, and this is it. And it just simply slides down over the top of that section where the stem, handlebar stem, goes in place. So, take this off. Make sure that when you prepare to install the stem, that you have the wiring and the hydraulic line tubing where it can be, it's not twisted or tangled in any way. We're just going to stick that in for right now so that we have it kind of in the proper position. We have some warning labels, some instructions here that talks about the checklist for preparing the bike for its first ride. We'll look at that a little bit later. We don't need it at this particular moment. And we're down to the brake levers on the handlebars. Notice they have the controls already in position and on the bars. The little bell is already in place. So none of that has to be installed by you. It's already there. The only thing that some people do is you may want to change the position of it a little bit. Here's your throttle. This is a thumb throttle trike. It's not one that has the twist throttle, but it works by the thumb. And that's right here on your right-hand side. The last piece of packing here is around the display screen for the electronic unit. And there it is. You just pull it up there, and we'll tighten it and position it later when we get ready to do that. So that pretty well shows you what the packing is like on the frame itself and what it takes to get that all off and kind of begin to get the bike in position. The next thing that we'll be doing is we will be taking the stabilizer on the front fork off, the protective bolt to keep it from being damaged in place, and we'll take that off, and then we can position the wheel and axle on and get the hydraulic line ready there and get the disc brake taken care of and be able to bolt that front wheel in place. And after that, it's a matter of pedals and the rear basket and very easy things to take care of. So we're really making good progress now, and it won't take long, and we'll be able to say that we have a bike all ready to go. Okay, as we continue our assembly, we're down to our next step, which is the front fender. We want to install that along with the headlamp before we attach the front wheel. So we take the front fender, which you have 3 fenders that are included with the bike. This is the shortest one, and it has the little ear tabs, brackets up here. The short side is the part that is going to go on the front of the bar assembly here. So you want to position it accordingly. Before you do, take your headlamp and your bolt. And this bolt is going to go through the bracket of the headlamp down here. And then that will go through the first ear tab on the fender. Once you have it in place, it straddles right here in this particular section. Once you have that straddle, stick that bolt through. Like this. And then you have a washer and a nut that you're going to take and put on the back side of that assembly. And actually, sometimes what I have found is those bracket ears are a little bit spread out too far. So you might have to take and squeeze them together. I'm going to take this off so I can do it. Squeeze these 2 ears right here together so that they have enough room for you to put the nut on. Doesn't take much. to do, you might want to take maybe a pair of pliers, save your fingers a little bit, and just squeeze that together just a little. Doesn't take much. Then we're back down to headlamp. Putting the fender back, straddle, and the bolt through. Okay. Like that. And the washer and the nut. It goes on the back side here. That hand tight, that is a locking nut, so you're going to want to get it as far as you can by hand. Then either with the Allen wrench that came with the bike, or if you have, I have a T Allen wrench that I like to use because it's just a little bit easier. Nope, I got the wrong size. Okay, and socket for the back, and begin to tighten that. Get it so far so that you can snug the fender and the light together. Of course, you want the light to be upright. Okay. And the fender straight as possible. You probably have to do a little bit of adjustment on that once you get the wheel and everything tightened down accordingly. Depends on the pressure of that. Tighten that back there. Sometimes just a good old pair of channel lock pliers does the job better than anything. Okay, then we can finish putting that in place and straight accordingly once we have the light or the wheel in place, and we can see what we're doing there with that. Now, the headlight, you have the plug-in for the headlight here. You have right here at your harness, you have the plug-in off the top. Right here. And you will notice in these plugs, these are waterproof plugs. So they are very tight in their assembly. They're pushed together, and the pins have to be aligned correct. And to help you do that, there is a arrow on each plug-in. And you'll want to align those two arrows where they're pointing at each other. You want to be very careful because you don't want to bend the pins. Once you get everything lined up, you snap it in place. And your headlight then is plugged in and ready. And you can check that by pressing on the top once your screen is on. There's your light. And you can turn it off by pressing the same button, the up arrow, and it will turn it off. So the headlight is installed, the headlight works. That's what we like to know and have. So we now have our fender, front fender in place, and we have the headlight in place as well. Like I say, we'll have to do some adjustment a little bit on this once we get the tire in place to make sure it's centered and tightened down well. But everything is there and ready to go for that particular moment. Next item then would be, we're going to be talking about putting in the front wheel. And the first thing that we have to do on the front wheel assembly is there is a spacer bolt down here at the front fork in the bottom that keeps the forks from being compacted together in the wrong place. So you want to take and loosen those nuts. And then that brace simply slides out of place. And you won't be using that again, hopefully, because hopefully you're not going to be shipping it anywhere. So you get it accordingly fixed where it is. Now, before you can put the wheel on, you need to notice that the caliper, the brake caliper, has a spacer unit. I'm going to try to adjust this where you can see it better. There is a spacer in there to keep those pads from being compacted. You do not, and I repeat, this is very important, you do not want to press the brake levers on this while the caliper and the disc are not assembled together, because that will compact the pads together. Then you can't get the caliper in there, and then you have a problem. You got to work through realigning that and getting that spread apart. So don't mess with the levers while you are assembling this. So I reach down on this particular part now, and I pull out this little plastic spacer piece. See what it looks like here. That's what kept your brake pads to get apart. And we pull that out and set that aside. And then we pick up and get ready to put the wheel on accordingly. Now, note, want to make sure that in regards to the wheel, you have everything positioned so that you can take and screw the nuts apart, widely apart on the axle. You'll find that there is the nut, there is a washer that has a little edge tooth on it, which fits in the fork of the frame. And then there's a flat washer that's right underneath the nut. Then there's that tooth washer that goes in where the fork. Now the next big fat washer has a locking tab on it, and that's going to fit up in between where it goes into the fork. And you're going to have that on both sides. So I found it easiest to take and loosen those nuts off as far as you can so that they're not in the way. Gives you plenty of room to work. Okay, and you want to make sure the caliper, of course, or the disc, I'm sorry, is on the same side as the caliper, which is over here, because you're going to want to position that disc in between the brake calipers, and then get the axle aligned. Make sure that one washer that's got the tooth on it, that tooth is up where it belongs, in the hole in the fork. Takes a little bit to get that all where it's supposed to be, maybe a little bit of finagling. Same thing on the other side. I'll do it by feel. There we go. Once you have that in that hole, you just kind of hand tighten the axle nut in place. Okay. And then grab your wrench, a 19 millimeter, and begin to tighten that nut accordingly on the axle. I like to get both of them pretty well lined up and where they go before I crank down too tightly on them. Each time, don't hurry. You want to make sure that everything seats properly. Once you got it down snug where it's in place, you'll kind of want to check visually to make sure that those washers are all locked in as they are supposed to be. And then I'm ready to take this thing off this foam block. It's a good idea to have that front up high so that it's off the ground so you can work with the wheel accordingly. Now that we have a wheel to support it, we can take this foam block out. And we have the Trike supporting itself on all three wheels. Okay. Once that is done, you can finish tightening both axle nuts down good and tight. Okay. Both axle sides are in place. The disc is in the caliper. So we have things functioning as they should be as far as the mounting of the wheel is concerned. Now, the next thing that we do need to do is we need to plug in the motor. And so I'm going to reposition this a little bit here so you can see, hopefully. We have another cable with pins on it. Down running alongside the suspension system right here is a coupling for the motor, for the electronics, and then hanging down here is the cable that plugs in here for the motor to be plugged in. So we have to once again make sure that we get our arrows lined up. It's a little bit dark down there. Let me get a flashlight so I can make sure. So again, the last thing you want to do is take the chance of bending one of those pins, because if you bend one of those pins, you've got a major issue to deal with. So, all right, there's the arrow right here on top of this, where my finger is. We'll find the arrow on the plug. There it is. Get those pins in place. Check your arrows. See, I'm not quite where I need to be. There we go. Arrows are lining up. Hopefully. Yeah, pointed right at each other. And then we push that together. Great. All right. Now, the cap for the axle nut, there's a plastic cover cap that goes in place. That kind of helps protect the wiring. You want to get that up into place. What you do, then you simply shove it over the top of that nut, like so. And that helps protect that joint. Then the cable right here, you can see runs down along the suspension system. There is right here a Velcro strap that is mounted on the shock setup, and you want to use that to pull this cable over and tighten it and hold it, and so that it will hold that wiring in place. Okay? You want to get it as tight as you can. I'm satisfied with that. So we'll try it again. Okay. I use the Velcro on it, I'm sure, so that in the event that you would have to do any kind of maintenance or work with the motor itself, you can take that wire loose very easily. You could also, if you would prefer, put a zip tie right there in that same area. Just anything so that that wire is not hanging loose and something grab hold of it and pull it and damage the plug on the motor. Okay. Now, as I said, we want to take, since the wheel is on, we want to finish tightening up that front fender bracket. So we can do that now. It'll be straight that way. Allen wrench. Looks like I got the wrong one again. Get hold of this nut on the back side. It kind of sits in there kind of tight, so it's a little bit difficult to get to. Get your Allen wrench on there and then really tighten that down. What I have found is sometimes it takes a couple of times to tighten that before it really stays where you want it to be. It has to get kind of seated in there. No biggie. Tighten your fender and your headlight, and we've got a front wheel assembly now completely installed. Very good. The next thing that we can do is our pedals. They wrapped here in plastic, as you can see. Get them out of the plastic. Again, I really appreciate the fact that they send some decent pedals. with these bike trikes. So many of them I've seen are just plastic and very flimsy. These are nicely done. So get them in place. Let's see, make sure we have the right one. They are marked left and right. Once you have started and you know that the threads are set on these pedals, because you don't want to cross thread anything, you can just turn things backwards. So that it's hand tight. And then over here, it's a very fine thread, so you have to be very careful that you make sure that they are where they should be. Once that is done, take a wrench, or I have a pair of channel locks here that I can use just to make sure that they are tight or snugged. And pedals are in. Wonderful. Now we can come down to the all-important seat and position it. And of course that's going to take a little bit of adjustment depending on your height, the tilt, all that those different kinds of settings that make the seat fit you the way you want it to. But we have here the clamp. Loosen that off and put the seat post down in place. For right now, we'll just kind of guess at it. And then you're going to need to take and turn this, hold this nut and turn this so that it doesn't spin, so that you can get it to where it will tighten, where you need it, where it will stay stable. When you set on it, it won't push down like that. And that's it. That's all there is to the basic putting it in. Like I say, there are adjustments underneath the seat here that you can scoot the backrest back and forth, or you can lower or heighten here according to the post level. You also have a screw knob back here on the back that allows you to loosen this, and you can fit the height of the seat back to where you would like to have it positioned accordingly. See if I can help you see that a little bit better. There's where your knob is, where your seat back, and it's really a matter of you setting it the way you want it, where you feel the most comfortable with it, and can work with it most easily. So your height and your forward and backwards, and then your backrest up and down is all adjustable according to where you would like to have it. Okay, the next item that we have to deal with is the placement of the rear fenders on the rear basket. This is really nothing too difficult. I've got the basket turned upside down right now, and you have two Allen wrench bolts in the sides of front and back of each of these fender braces. So you're going to screw them out. Down there for the moment. Get to this one. And before I put this particular fender in place, let me make mention, on these braces, there's a rubber plug on the end of each one of them. There's 4 on each side. Those rubber plugs are a swedge fit into this tube, but they're very shallow, and I found it doesn't take very much for them to pop out, and you can lose them very easily. So I suggest that before you begin the assembly of this, take those plugs all out, put a drop of super glue or something like that on the edge of it, and push it back in and let it set up, and those things are glued in place, and you'll never have to worry about losing one of them. All right, again, put these fenders on now. Bolt. Put the washer in place on it. Now these are slotted holes, so you can move the fender backwards or forwards for fit. I tend to set mine back as far as it will go on the back side, which is the other one. And the reason I do that is I think it looks better, number one. And I think it just makes for a good fit for the fender itself. Now, I will tell you right now, these are metal, so you do have the ability to do some adjusting, and you probably will have to when you get it set down on the bike. You may have to lift it back up and do a little bit of adjustment accordingly. Turn this around, take these screws out. I do like the fact that these fenders fit to the basket, screw down tight. A lot of the bikes, the fenders that are supplied attach somewhat to the frame somewhere with a little flimsy bracket, and they sit there and they vibrate back and forth as you're going down the road, and they're terrible and noisy and just awful. These stay put because they're fastened to the basket itself very solidly, and they don't move. They do what they're supposed to, and they don't move. Okay. It's just a little bit of difference in spacing on these, so make sure you get them positioned in the same way as the others. The other side. Like so. You'll want one longer on one end than the other end because it's been put on backwards. Now I get to look for that washer that dropped. Okay, washer's found, yay. I don't know if you have that problem like I do or not, but I dropped something on the floor and I can look forever for it. So now we'll tighten these down. Sure, a lot of guys are watching and might say, well, why don't you have a battery operated drill or something like that to loosen and tighten those things? And those things are great, but I found that in these types of situations, you're better off being able to feel what you're doing. You're not trying to crank down real tight on this stuff, because you can strip it. Okay, now we're back to the bike itself. And you'll see on the top side here, here, and here, there are 4 bolts. Those are the bolts that hold the basket in place to the frame. I do like the fact that Electric Go Bike screws them in for you. You know where they go, where they're at. They're not just in a big bag of loose screws and bolts and nuts that you have no idea which size goes where and what it does. These are in the holes that they're supposed to go in, so all you gotta do is back them out. But they are kind of long. Okay, I stopped the camera long enough to take those 4 bolts and nuts out because I didn't figure that was anything too exciting. As you can see, the 4 holes here, they're elongated and they are now empty. So our next project, part of mounting this basket, will be to take it hopefully not dump it off the front basket, which we haven't put on yet either. Take the liner out. Okay. And then we're going to set this thing about where it's supposed to go. Yeah. Okay. And we will drop a bolt. I tend to drop one in and get a nut and washer started before I put any more on. I'll reach underneath and I feel for it, so be patient, take your time. Okay, that started. I'll drop another one. Main thing is to not tighten these until you get all of them in place and you know the basket's setting about where you want it to set. Otherwise, you're going to be loosening them back off and messing with them back and forth. And if you're smart, not like me, when you get ready to take that liner out, you'll reach in there and take that front basket out so it doesn't fall out like it did because I didn't do that. All right, they're all started now. So we can begin to line them up. Main thing here is you want to make sure the fenders are clearing the wheels tires. Well, that seems like that ought to be about right. We'll go ahead and start snugging one down. And we can adjust accordingly. Kind of get them snug so you got the ability to move them a little bit yet. I want the basket to be on there straight, not cockeyed. Make sure the fender's not touching the tire anywhere. One nice thing about this, if you do opt for the second battery or you decide to add that as an option later on, as I said, it mounts right here, and you've got 4 bolts to take this basket out, and you can get that aligned and get it snugged down and put where it's supposed to be, and you're ready to go. Okay, seems to be clearing everything on this side. And likewise over here, so I think we can snug our bolts down. Okay. Basket is now in place. And we can once again put the liner back. Okay. And it does have a Velcro strap, you can see here, that wraps around the framework. To hold that liner down where it belongs. You have those on every side, so it's secure. Two in front, 2 on every side. And of course, if you ever wanted to hold something that was bigger than this liner, you can always un-Velcro it and you have whatever height you need. You have double zippers on this. And then you have a tab to pull it up with here. So that's all there is to it in regards to putting the liner back in place. Okay, we have the front basket yet to do. We've got 4 bolts here on the head. Again, everything's Allen wrench on these things, so you need to make sure that you have a set of Allen wrenches. Unscrew these bolts, bolt the washer on each one. If you tuned into this video thinking you were going to see a glamorous, professional movie actor doing this, I know you're very disappointed if you've even made it this far in the video, because I'm certainly nothing like that. But I found most people are looking for good instruction as far as trying to do these kinds of projects. And so many of them just kind of assume that you know this and you know that. And I found most people, that assumption is not very, very good. So I try to take my time and I try to show you what you need to know. And if there's any questions you have, you certainly can put it in the comments and I will do my best to answer it for you. 4 bolts, 4 washers, ones we just took out. I'm going to put it up here in place where the head tube is. I'll make sure that your wiring is okay. See what you're doing. It helps. Sometimes another set of hands is real helpful. I don't have another set of hands right now. So we'll keep on plugging away here. One of them started, that'll make it a little easier. Some people don't even put the front baskets on. It's really a matter of personal preference. I just kind of like to have the idea that I've got the ability to haul more groceries or whatever. Most people that are using the trikes kind of have a purpose. They're not just for pleasure. A lot of people ride them for pleasure, and that's great. They should. But then some have a purpose, like commuting around town, whatever. And that's a good thing. Okay, so now hopefully we've got those started. This one I have a little bit of a question about. That's all right, okay. So we'll begin to run those down into place. I mentioned you can try to find a liner for this, like the back one. Or the other possibility, which I think I'm going to do, they make handlebar bags for bikes and trikes that hold quite a bit of stuff, and they Velcro over the handlebar tubes. Well, that Velcro can go over these bars of this basket too, and it can fit right down inside of here and hold that way. So I kind of think that's what I'm going to do. That way I can put my items in it that I most likely want to get out quickly. And I can keep the bigger basket in the back for the big items that I might be trying to haul someplace. But everybody to his own idea. Okay, we'll just snug these. Yeah, it's got that. Hey, we've got a tricycle. And you do have safety emergency brakes on these. A lever right there that fits, that locks it in place on both sides, which is really nice. So we have pretty much everything in place. All our brakes are in place. The only one that wasn't already in place was the front, and I just tested that. Pump up the hydraulic in them. That's quick and easy. The little bell is in place. Now the two accessories that came with it were, one of them in particular is a phone holder, which goes here on the handlebars. Some people wouldn't want that, some people might not. It's really, again, it's personal preference, what you want. I usually have one right over here, so I will be using a phone holder, cell phone holder on this particular bike, and get that mounted. That's 2 screws. That's nothing that is difficult for anybody to do. There's a lot of adjustments that you can make, because some people want the handlebars angled down, some people want them up flat. Some people want them positioned a little bit farther back. You can do all of that right here. You've got two bolts, 2 Allen bolts right here. You can loosen one of them. Use all it takes, and you can tilt the bars this way or this way. And then this does have an adjustable stem, so you can loosen that, and you can raise it or you can lower it according to your personal preference and taste. keys are right here. They're usually wired onto the deal. We'll take them off a little bit later. But pedals are in. It's ready. It's really ready to go. If we press the power button on it right now, there it is. It's powered up and it's ready to ride, hopefully. So we're all set there. So that gives you an idea of the Forza compact electric trike by electricbike.com. And nice, well-built, well taken care of bike. As you see, it's really not difficult to put together at all. It might look more difficult because of the time that I've taken to do it, but when you're trying to video the process, that adds greatly to what you're doing. But if you were just trying to put it together, probably 2 hours, maybe 3 if you really are moving slowly, and you would have it together and be ready to go. It does come with the battery has got juice in it, so once you get it put together, you're ready to take a short ride with it. There is a couple of adjustments on the control panel that you may want to do. The first one in the settings has to do with the brightness of the screen of the display. There's a 1, 2, and 3 setting on that, 1 being the dimmest, and then the higher number you go, the brighter it is. So you can set that according to your personal taste and what you like. And then the second setting has to do with whether you want it to register in kilometers or miles per hour. And I have, since we're in the U.S., I have set mine to miles per hour. The instruction book that comes with it shows you exactly how to do that. There's a lot of other settings in there. My advice to you is it's set by the factory to be what it is, and other than the kilometers, miles per hour, the brightness of the screen, I'd leave it alone. It can go now. The pedal assist settings, you have 5 of those, and you can set that accordingly, 1 being the slowest, 5 being the fastest. The 4 and 5 are what they call power mode, and they are the fastest, and you can use that, and that's just done through the keypad very quickly on the screen. And if you're an accomplished rider, you may want to be on the higher settings. If you're a beginner or a novice or not done a lot of trike riding, then you can certainly set it down on a lower level and work with it that way. The throttle will work regardless. I have mine set. You can set it to where it will only do pedal assist, or you can set it where it will only do throttle, or you can set it to where it will do both pedal assist and throttle, which is what I use for myself. And that way I pedal it, and if I get on a big steep hill and it's getting to be a little bit tiresome, I just reach over and press the throttle, and it takes over and hauls me to the top. So it's really, really nice to do that and work with that. So you've got some good options there accordingly. And of course, there's a lot of ways you can customize one of these if you'd like to do that. The sky's the limit on that. There's all kinds of customization things that you can do accordingly. But good bike, very, very good trike, and by a good company that really does want you to be happy with it, wants it to work well for you, and will do their best to take good care of you if you have any issues or problems at all, and hopefully you won't have. It is a piece of machinery, so anything can happen, but I know if you look at the reviews on these, you'll find that the vast, vast majority of people are very, very pleased with the Trike. Now, this is a full suspension, and the fact the front fork is a suspension system, I think I talked about that early on, but it is not adjustable. You cannot lock it out. It is what it is. So it's not one of the more high-powered ones, but hey, it does give you some help accordingly. The only other thing that you might consider to do as far as a accessory right off the bat would be maybe a seat post suspension system. Those really are nice. I have one of those on my other units, and they do add a lot of comfort to it. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot of need for it. Have a good bike lock. I've got a D-lock and a really heavy cable. I think I should talk to you. It came with it, and they are good quality, and I use that accordingly. And it's got a bracket that mounts in this A-frame part just in front of the rear basket, and it's there for you when you need it. You do want to lock them. A lot of people are looking for these. A lot of people like to have them. A lot of people don't want to pay for them. So if you don't lock it, you can, or you don't use a good lock, you've got a pretty good chance of coming out from someplace and finding your e-trike is not where you left it. It's not to say that the professionals can't get through the locks too, but my thought and theory is make it as hard for them as you possibly can, and chances are you'll be okay because they're looking for easy targets. So tires, I think pressure, maximum pressure on these is 60 pounds. I keep mine at 55, rolls easier, and just does a better job with the suspension and so forth it has. I don't have to worry about it too much. Again, it's a single speed with the 5-pedal assist settings on it, so you don't have a derailleur or anything like that. If you want that, you need to get the other Forza model, the non-compact model. It has seven speeds along with the derailleur. And it's exactly like this particular trike, except it just adds those 7 speeds and the derailleur to the system. So that gives you a good idea, hopefully. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And hopefully if you purchase one of these, you'll just have nothing but good luck with it and enjoy it very much. I know we're enjoying ours. So thanks again, and until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.